Hello everyone, my name is Elisa Silvia. I'm from class B afternoon. Now I will explain about cross-culture contact with English-speaking country. And the first one is a theoretical concept of multicultural community. Multicultural comes from the word multi, which means any, and culture means culture. Multicultural is a philosophy that is interpreted as an ideology that requires of unity of various culture groups with equal rights and socio-political status in a modern society. This definition comes from Dr. Sutia MPD in the book Islamic Region Education of Multicultural Village. The term multicultural is also often used to describe the unity of different ethnic community within a country. Multicultural society carries the concept of multiculturalism, which is an understanding the emphasizes the equality of various local culture without is an understanding that the of other culture. Multicultural society receive different in social group, culture and ethnic groups. However, this does not mean that are gaps of different in rights and abolition because there is illegal and social equality. Next, multicultural is a society way of dealing with culture diversity both at the national of community level. Multicultural developed according to one of two theories, namely the melting pot theory and the salt bowl theory. The first one, the melting pot theory. This melting pot theory defines the various immigrant groups will tend of melt together. Set aside their receptive culture and eventuality fully into the dominant society, usually used to describe an assimilation of immigrants to the United States. Melting theory is often illustrated by the metaphor of the foundry melting pot, in which the element iron and carbon and melted together to create one stronger metal steel. 2. Salt bowl theory. Salt bowl theory is a theory of multicultural that is more liberal than the melting pot. Salt bowl theory describes hearthstones and society, people living side by side, but retaining at least some of the unique of their traditional culture. Like the ingredients and feelings of salt, very different culture are brought together, but inside of building into one homogeneous culture, they maintain their own flavor. In the United States, New York City, within the many unique ethnic community. 2. Multicultural country or mosaic or melting pot. The Canadian mosaic. In this pure form, a mosaic describes a collection of unique pieces assembled to create a harmonious work of art, using its colorful reception to explain Canada's perception of multicultural attached to its sensitive approach to difference. Respectful of participant, the vibrant image also inform on the intonation to perceive culture identity within this family, be it or race. And then B, they use melting pot. While not opposing the nation of mosaic, the United States concept of melting pot chose a more blend approach. One called preserve as intonation to homogeneous culture into a single unique blend. My first thought was, what does that mean for culture identity? Approaching this concept as one would a scallion sauce or a flour-some soup, the melting pot can conjure up the tasteful, planning mixture. One word talk if mixing means to substitute or remove an ingredient's particular taste in favor of creating an entirely different flavor. C. Welcoming difference. In our case, imagery inform participation, which in turn inform or perceive of difference. Mosaic or melting pot, the challenge remains keeping culture difference, whether of country, nation, race, gender, or beliefs. Next, example of stereotypes and generalization. A. Stereotypes. Stereotypes are views or judgment about a group to bring hope to what individuals in that group are like and how they behave. Generally, stereotypes arise because of social categories within the groups, such as age, gender, race, and so on. Next example of stereotypes. Women with open clothes are often judged a bad woman. And then, Eastern Indonesian tend to temperamental and violent. Next, tattoo men are considered naughty and scary. B. Generalization. When you make a statement about all or most of people or things together, you are making a generalization. Example of generalization. The first one, all birds have wings. And then many children eat cereal for breakfast. Next, number 4. The difference and similar between mainstream American value and Indonesian. Some of the notable difference. The first one, Indonesian is a very communal and family-based society, whereas the US is hyper-individualistic. In Indonesian, I would rarely see any local eating alone, whereas in the US, that is pretty common. The US is so individualistic. I find in Indonesian to be more friendly and kindness. Most are laid back and welcoming to others. Americans have a reputation for being nice, but I find it is not. Since it can be very superficial. An American might randomly start talking to you about whatever, but I want to about anything meaningful. American will constantly ask other, how are you? But not really care that is answer. It just recognizes. In the US, especially with customer service, like when you walk into a restaurant or a store and staff is superficially overly nice to you, and Americans tend to view friendships as transactional relationship. Once someone doesn't have something to offer, the friendship is values.